Do you ever go into the front of your room, you turn on your document camera, and you start modeling an essay line by line, or you're typing it out, and you talk out loud as you write, you point out how you're indenting the start of the introductory paragraph. Maybe you're even saying things like, I should probably start with a tag so that my readers know the title, author, and genre of the text that I'm writing about. And you go on, sentence by sentence, pausing to ask your students for input about relevant evidence, pointing out the strong vocabulary and transition words that you're using. And then 45 minutes later, you have a sample essay that's complete for them, and now they're ready to go write their own. Well, I'm going to invite you to consider that maybe this isn't the best way to go about doing this, because we really feel that there is a more efficient way to do this, because in this case, you've kind of wasted a lot of time. And I'm going to discuss the reasons why you shouldn't be writing sample essays in front of your class and what you can do instead. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. But before we do, make sure you hit subscribe where you're watching this video for more ones like this. Okay, so to start, of course, you strive to model for your students and you want to demonstrate, proper writing techniques and creativity, even critical thinking skills. But today, we want to explore if the practice of writing model essays or even paragraphs in front of your students really aligns with those goals. And at EB, we don't really think so. Instead, what we found that it does is it creates unintended pressure and unrealistic expectations for our students. It also stifles their own creativity, and we feel it creates a missed opportunity for active learning for your students. And let's be honest, this isn't really the type of experience that we want to create for our students. Something that lacks interaction, something that discourages collaboration, even spontaneity? Like, of course not, right? So what are you supposed to do to get students to model strong essays instead? Because there absolutely are benefits to showing students sample essays, to having them engage with them before they write their own. The problem doesn't necessarily lie in the sample essay itself. It's in the time that students spend watching the teacher write the essay. So instead, consider writing a sample essay of your own outside of class time. And what this does is it allows you to ensure that the writing prompt you choose is actually something that you and your students can answer. It also gives you the opportunity, make sure that there's enough logical evidence to include in the essay. Because if you sit down to write the essay and you can't find great evidence, well, then of course it's going to be really difficult for our students to be able to do that. And a little time-saving hack with this idea is to use ChatGPT and have ChatGPT write that first draft of the essay for you, and then you can go in and tweak it so that it matches the writing framework that you use in class. And so what I want to do now is I want to give you 4 different options that you can do to use your essay in class to model writing and still keep it engaging. So option number 1 is to make copies of your finished essay and pass them out to students. Have them go through it and read it. They can underline strong vocabulary, transition words, etc. And if you're using the EBW approach, you can have them label all the parts of that tag, summary, claim, etc. And what this does is it really helps them internalize the framework, since they know they need to follow this in their own response to literature essay. All right, option number 2 is you then also can take your essay, print it out, and cut each sentence into strips. So every sentence is on a separate strip of paper. And then you put students into group and give each group a set of those sentence strips, and then ask students to put them in order to complete the essay. So this is hard because they're going to need to identify tag. They're going to need to be able to find the claim. What is the beginning of the introductory paragraph? What are the premises, etc. And I love this because it's such a great hands-on activity that gets all group members involved as they once again internalize the writing framework and they put it into practice. This is also a great opportunity for discussion about how certain transition words and phrases actually can be helpful hints for students so that they know, this might actually be the first sentence of that first body paragraph, or this might be the first sentence of the conclusion, etc. Option number 3 is to pass out copies of the essay to each student along with your writing rubric that you're going to use. And then you can have students grade the essay, and then they can discuss with a partner why they each graded the essay the way that they did. Now, you might not want to give them an A+ paper. You might want to give them a B paper or a C paper and have them justify their reasoning as to why they graded the essay the way that they did. All right, and then the last option, option number 4, is a little bit simpler. And so what you can do is you can model just the tag sentence for students at the beginning, and then have them go and work with a partner to write the rest of that introductory paragraph. Then you can show students a completed introductory paragraph and have them compare what they wrote to the sample that you're showing, right? Do they have a tag? Do they have a summary? Do they have a claim? What kind of vocabulary are they using? Is there an easy flow from the summary into the claim, or is their writing choppy, etc.? And of course, you can do this for the body paragraphs as well if you want to. But ultimately, as middle school ELA teachers, you want your students to become independent, confident writers who enjoy the writing process. And when you step back from that role of the sage on the stage or the expert, and you really let students take the reins of their writing, you are fostering a sense of ownership, of autonomy, and it's magic. And then when they write future essays, they'll be more likely to develop their own skills, knowing that they have a framework that they can rely on. All right, I hope that you found this helpful. And again, make sure that you subscribe where you're watching this video. And if you're interested in learning more about our writing approach, how we teach writing here at EB, I'm going to include a link for you below where you can add your name to our EB writing program waitlist.